Join Gator great Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. Live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios, where today is the last day if you want to go buy some jewelry and not have to pay 0% APR until 2030, because today is June 30th. They also are the only diamond and jewelry partner of the mighty Florida Gators. Not a whole lot going on in the sports world, so we'll bring JC in and we'll recap what we did watch on TV. JC, you're on the Titan Number Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. What's going on?
I'll get everybody all excited. If I can pull this up right here. Now, it doesn't really work that well, but there's a picture of somebody running down the sideline right there. There he goes again. Who was number 81? Who is that? And
it looked like it was Dallas Baker.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And there's some Gator football highlights I've just pulled up here, and this was from young Christopher Dyer. Appreciate him. Beating the hell out of LSU, which is typical down here most of the time, except, well, actually, that's not true. They did last year, but they had a lot of problems with LSU for about 6 years prior to that. 61 days, QB. So I'll start the countdown today, June 30th, 6/30, 25. 61 days until we kick it off against Long Island somebody.
Sharks.
Yes, the Sharks. The Sharks. That is also an indoor football league team in Jacksonville, whom I saw.
They're the Jacksonville Sharks, JC.
Yes, aren't they? They're an indoor league arena team.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some of their offensive linemen actually at the Jacksonville airport walking off the plane. A couple of old Alabama players, by the way, because I had my Alabama shirt on. A guy said, "Roll Tide." I said, "Who are the Jacksonville Sharks?" I thought he was going to beat the hell out of me when I said that with the look he gave me on his face, but I told him he was great. Anyway, so football is only 2 months away. It's literally 61 days. So while we wait for that, QB, we are inundated with macroeconomic news. We're inundated with what Congress is doing, which, by the way,
Alligator Alcatraz.
We have Alligator Alcatraz.
I love that.
Clearly one of the best ideas I think I've ever heard. Credit to our wonderful governor who has literally saved us and kept us free in this state over the last 6 years, Ron DeSantis. I don't care what you think about him, but I'm telling you, he's the greatest we've ever had in this state, and he has saved your ass. But having said that, Alligator Alley and Alligator Alcatraz, I should say, in Alligator Alley or wherever the hell it is down there, is just ingenious. So I'm a big fan. And by the way, while we're talking about that, you better hope like hell Congress passes this bill, because not that we're getting into politics today, but I clearly don't like my money leaving my wallet and going to waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm not a big fan of that, QB. I don't know if we have any fans out there that like taxes. If you like taxes, call me up. And here's what I would offer. When you go to the Florida football games, write an extra check and drop it in a box and pay for something. Say, I'm going to the Florida game and my tax for Florida football is to the NIL or is to the renovation of the stadium. Just write a check. Scott will take it. Just pay it out. So anyway.
All right. Changing
how I got off that. I don't know how I got on that.
I don't either. But changing the subject, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which was a great golf tournament.
Man.
It was very exciting yesterday. I think our picks, we didn't have anybody win it, but I think Ben Griffin and Minwoo Lee were in the top 15, if I'm not mistaken. So I win again.
Well, I did have Colin Morikawa. He was up there at the end. But
can we talk about Aldrich Hotgeter?
Gotta love Aldrich Hotgeter, who was dead and buried on one of the extra holes after he overshot the green on the par 3 15th, putting it in rough this high, QB, and somehow fishing it out of there and making a putt to stay in the playoff, thanks to the fact that Kirk and the other guy Grazerman were missing putts to win the tournament. He just waited for his chance. He had 2 chances with Grazerman and finally made the second chance he had on the 15th hole, the same playoff hole, to win his first ever tournament at the age of 20. He can't even rent a car. He's got his dad traveling with him because of things like that, and because of the fact that I think dad loves watching him. South African born, native, working here in America, of course, and winning millions. And it's wonderful because this is the kid that had the bad luck and the misfortune of playing in the playoff at the Mexican Open against some guy named Brian. Anyway, Brian hits the ball in a tree, should have been OB, should have been out. They're in a playoff, and PodUp gets beaten because a monkey threw the ball out into the middle of the fairway for the kid, and the guy made a putt or something like that, but he shouldn't have even been in the hole, and PodUp should have won that tournament. So technically, he should have won twice.
You know, PodUp is the longest driver on tour. He doesn't even swing hard. It's amazing because so many people are so enamored with Bryson DeChambeau about how hard he swings and how far he hits it. This kid hits it way farther than him and hardly even swings.
I'm thinking it's just incredible. Him and Jake Knapp are
yeah.
My God. And here's the thing. So think of a 500-yard hole out at the U. Let's call it number 7. How far is that, QB? Number 7 at the U?
530, 540.
530. This guy is hitting driver 8-iron into that?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Or 9-iron.
Think about that. That is stunning to me. So I think if he keeps that driver as straight as it seems to go, this guy, we're going to hear a lot from him.
Oh, PodUp, he's here to stay. And I tell you, he's only 20 years old, the youngest player on tour, and the longest player on tour. Yeah. If he gets his body right, you know, he's still kind of, I don't want to call it baby fat, but he's got a little baby fat. Get in shape a little bit. But boy, what a good golf tournament it was. Andy asked a question about that on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melton Law. The Rocket Classic had a 4 or 5-way tie. How do they play the sudden death holes? Does everyone play as a group? Yes. They would have a 5-some or a 6-some, and everybody would just go play. We thought it looked like it was going to be about a 5 or 6 man playoff there at the end.
So my question to you, QB, and I think I know the answer to this, but so it's probably not a smart question. But if you have a multiple person playoff and one guy goes out before the others, everybody but the winner still ties for second, correct?
I'm about 100% sure of that.
Yeah, I am too. Okay. And then, so, they get, if there's 3 guys, then the 2 losers get to split second and third place money.
Correct. They take second, third, fourth place, however many people are in it, add up that money and divide it.
Okay, and then the winner is winner. So great for PodUp. Card now for 2 years, gets his Masters invite for next year, gets his TPC invite for next year. So if you want to watch this guy, he probably won't even hit driver at TPC. He probably won't need to. Maybe on one hole, maybe.
It's so freaking long.
It's just unbelievable how long this man hits the ball. And like you said, it almost looks effortless.
It's effortless. Electronics World Integration and Design Specialist for smart home automation and entertainment. Affordable local installation service and support. Check them out, electronicsworld.net. We got some Titan our text here. Josh from Mississippi says, gentlemen, today is the day that I'm moving to Florida. Josh from Mississippi is now Josh from, quote, Wamama. I don't know where Josh is moving to.
Where the hell is that?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's a typo or his phone went. You know how sometimes when you're typing stuff, it just says things on its own?
Yeah. Well,
Daryl says on the Titan our text line, congratulations to the 9-car Chase Elliott for his first NASCAR win of the year up in Atlanta over the weekend. Yeah, Chase Elliott's my driver. I wonder why.
He's your driver?
Yeah, he drives the 9-car, JC.
Ah, well, you talk about him a lot on this show.
We do. NASCAR today.
I don't know. Go ahead.
There's a text from Kevin on the Titan our text line. Maybe you guys should have a JC rant of the day. Call it JC's Big Beautiful Rant of the Day, sponsored by Better Health.
We start with 40 grams of protein with 0 sugar. We then add into that creatine with a full glass of cold water. And then we get some yogurt, Greek yogurt, not the flavored kind, just the regular Greek yogurt, because we want the probiotics to work. The natural and artificial flavors kind of screw it up a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, but it'll get your digestive thing going. And then you go and you hit the gym. And all you need is about 30 minutes. And for me, with the arthritis in the thumb from overuse of golf and so far, I don't get to do a lot of, I can't grip a lot of things. Let's just call it that. So, but I don't have the shakes as bad as I used to because I've lost this weight, and I'm convinced that's what it is. And just pounding protein. There you go. There's a tip for you today. I appreciate the plug. And here's another way I can help your life. You know, we could talk about who the 2027 or 2026 potential Florida offensive lineman is going to sign, you know, with the Gators, maybe, although he's got Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, and LSU in his sights as well. We could talk about that, or I can tell you how to hit a 4-team or a 4-leg same game parlay on the Hard Rock, like what happened yesterday. And my secret to this is you take one player. Let's call a guy who's really hot, like Jose Altuve. All right, let's call Jose Altuve out and say, Jose, I need you to get 1.5 bases. Any way you can get 2 bases in the game. You do that. Then you take a total other, whether it's first 5 innings or total for the game. Let's say in this game you take a total and you want to go over because the Astros are about to play the Cubs. But in this case, you don't like that because of Jameson Talon and Framber Valdez's pitching. So you say, well, that's definitely going to be an under. So you take Jose Altuve, hits, runs, and RBIs over 1.5. You take Jose Altuve plus 1.5 bases over that. You take the Astros to win the game at home against the Cubs. You hit that. And then you take the total under because of the great pitching. And the next thing you know, you are a winner of a 4-team same game parlay. And it makes your day much better than worrying about whether or not some kid from North Georgia is going to sign with the Gators in 2027. That is the way you do it. That is the way you win. And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to have great odds. But if you get green lines like this, that means they go over their number.
But JC,
it's really good because
you ever get any red numbers?
Oh, well, let's see.
Let's just let everybody know that you do lose sometimes.
Well, but the guy sent me Paul sent the chain that said JC wins. I got it sitting in the yard. People are going to probably hate me for doing this, but I'm just trying to help here. Then you want to take teams like the Dodgers. There's the L right there underneath. That was the hedge on the Cubs in that parlay. Very small a bet. There's your guy Pot Gator. There's a couple greens there. And you just go on and on and on, and you just enjoy your day when it's raining like hell, like it always does in the summer. So who in baseball is playing well right now, QB? Can you believe the Florida Marlins have won 7 straight games? They've won 6 straight on the road and then 1 game at home before they went on this 6-game road trip. And that has never happened in the Miami Marlins history. It's the Miami Marlins now. So the Miami Marlins hat is on the way because I had them on the triple sweep against the Diamondbacks. I had them in the game, and then I took the plus odds for them to sweep the series, which was outrageously good. And next thing you know, the Florida Marlins are paying you, and all you're doing is sitting on your ass. It is a wonderful thing to do, QB. And yeah, you might trip up and lose one, but the more you bet, the more you win. Well, but that's why you got to pay attention. You can't just sit there and go, I want that one, that one, that one, that one. I mean, you can, but I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. That's not right.
So the Wa Mama was the way you pronounce this city that Josh is moving to. Rich says here on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Wa Mama is by Sun City, 30 miles south of Tampa.
That is down there by the golf course.
Sarasota, it sounds like.
Well, it's down there by the golf course that everybody goes to. Sun City. I'll think of it in a minute. It's the one you walk. It's got the red course, the blue course, the black course.
Oh, I just got asked to go on a golf trip there during football season. I'm like, who calls me
during football?
Texts me, want me to go on a golf trip during football season. We're going to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, well, I'm out.
Stream Song is what
Stream Song.
By the way, that's the time of year when Stream Song costs you an arm and a leg to play. Hopefully somebody was offering to take care of that for you. If they
the guy that set it up is a doctor in our group, and of course he doesn't even look at the price tag.
Well, Stream Song is fabulous. It is. You hopefully get to play all 3, the red, blue, and the black. My favorite is the blue course, but I don't like the black one. It's the newer one. It's much harder. And the red one's not quite as cool as the blue one. But Streamsong is a great place to go. Everybody goes there, and they have a fabulous bar at the top of something that looks like a spaceship called the Clubhouse, and the hotel check-in and so on and so forth. But it really is a place in the middle of nowhere. I've never been to such a remote golf course. And Streamsong is the place that you have to try at least once. It's only a few hours away from here, about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So go give it a shot, but play it when it's really hot like now if you want to save money. Otherwise, you're going to be paying a mortgage to play that place. That's not cheap. You have to get a
Titan our text line. Jerry in New Orleans, Louisiana says,
all right, Jerry, LSU.
Cags is struggling. Do y'all think they will send him back to AAA?
Well,
I think he's batting like 165.
I'll get you his average right now. Yeah, they were looking for some big for some big numbers from him in terms of long balls, and he hasn't given us that. The Dodgers.
I think he's hit 2 home runs both in the same game.
Same game against the Texas Rangers. So yeah, Jack is struggling a little bit. He's down in the lineup. He's batting 6th right now. And yeah, I mean his average, he was 0-4 yesterday. He is hitting 165. His on base percentage is 211. His slugging percentage is .270. So it's basically the lowest slugging percentage out of the 9 guys in the lineup. Now, listen, it's not easy to go. He's got to be very nervous up there, and it's not easy to go from college straight to AAA in 2 months, 3 months, then straight to the big leagues, unless you're a special player. And he is, and he will do fine. But my God, that's hard to do, man. It's hard. And I don't think they'll send him down. I think they'll just let him work it out, kind of like what the Rangers have done with Langford.
So Tony on YouTube, brought to you by Quantic Plum, says, Shane, I am playing Augusta National November the 1st. Are you interested? Tony, I don't know who we're playing November 1st, but I will call in with laryngitis if we're going to Augusta National. We can listen to the broadcast while we're playing on the radio.
Oh my God. The Cardozo can do it. My God. He could do it for a day. Jeff is the ultimate utility man. We all know Big Red. And
you think I'd be okay if I called him and say, hey, I'm
at Augusta.
I'm going to play Augusta National this Saturday. I can't do the game.
No, I don't think they'd be okay.
Yeah. All right, another text here on the Titan MR text line. This is Bobby in Macon. He says, do y'all ever watch the LIV Golf tournaments? No.
Can't say that. I don't even know what channel it's on.
I don't either, but I have zero interest, and I am dead set on this, and nobody will change my mind.
I'm with you.
Those guys have no competitive juices in their bodies anymore.
Yeah.
The only one is DeChambeau. It may be Rahm. But DeChambeau is just a young kid who has a lot of energy. The other guys have zero chance to compete with those damn guys on the regular tour now, in my opinion.
Where has Dustin Johnson been these days?
I feel like Dustin Johnson would lose money in our golf game.
Yeah, he
does not care.
I think Terrell Hatton is another guy that
I would love for him. I love Terrell Hatton.
Well, so I think he's one of those guys that does compete, off the LIV. But there are so many that have just forgotten. We have forgotten that guy, Matthew, the funny swing guy.
Matthew Wolf?
Matthew Wolf. Where has he been? He disappeared. Dustin Johnson has disappeared.
Did you see Koepka destroy the damn tee marker and throw his club and all that stuff?
I thought it was great. I just think this. I think when you've basically gotten more money than you'll ever make, and you've done whatever you have with it, and you never have to think about anything to incentivize you other than winning a major, you lose your competitive edge when you're playing all the time on something that's more like a scramble or a social event. And I know that, they have these little teams, but we've talked about this ad nauseum with the LIV. It's not the best tour on earth. It does not have the best players on earth. And it's certainly not as competitive as the PGA Tour on earth. There's no way. You can't do it. You can't tell me that a guy getting $500 million is going to have the same edge as a guy who's trying to make a living out there trying to win a golf tournament like the 2 we saw yesterday in Grazerman and Potgieter. Give me those 2 guys against any 2 on the LIV, and I'll take my chances. I really will. I will get odds too, by the way. I'll get odds, and I'm thinking I'll be okay. I'll be A-okay. Cam Smith, he was the best putter on tour. It wasn't even close. And then where's Cam Smith gone? He's gone to the fishing hole over here in St. Johns County because he hasn't got to worry about anything. He doesn't care if he wins this LIV tournament or that LIV tournament. The bank account is set for the next 10 generations. Cam Smith has nothing to play for. What is he worried about? And that's because he doesn't have to play well on the PGA Tour forces you to play well. The LIV Tour just forces you to show up. That's it. And
yeah, it's like going to play. It's like playing in the Steve Spurrier Scramble for Kids.
Well, I mean, yeah, call it whatever you want. Stop cancer, whatever it is. The Tyler's Hope tournament. These are all great causes, but do you really feel a lot of pressure to win it? And I think the PGA Tour gives you this too. It's that you have to play 4 days in these tournaments to win money. Well, to win a tournament, you have to win over 4 days. That extra day matters. It does on travel. It does in any other way. And if you don't make the cut, guess what? You're slamming the trunk empty-handed for that weekend in terms of winning any money in the tournament. You might get an endorsement here or there, but Monday qualifiers, all these things that are necessary to play on that tour, the barriers to entry are so much harder. All you have to do is be invited at the LIV. And they'll invite anybody. They invited Harold Varner, for God's sakes. So I will tell anybody who walks into my office at Cornerstone Financial Group and says, this LIV Tour is something else. These guys are amazing. I'll say, you don't bring that in here. I'm not talking, I'm not talking about that today. That's not true. Not true at all. They don't compete.
They don't. Shelvin says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. Come on, Shane. Seeing the Gators beat Georgia on November 1st is way more important than playing Augusta.
Oh,
nah. I beat Georgia 3 times. I'll be happy to listen to it on the radio.
I knew you'd say that. It was just basically like waking up in the morning for you, as far as Georgia goes. Kind of like all your Shane Matthews home games. I mean, did Shane Matthews ever lose a home game, ladies and gentlemen? Ever? No. Not once. So look, I mean,
Mike on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, did we watch any of the Senior Open? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but Harrington played a great tournament on a difficult course at the Broadmoor. I saw a little bit of it. Those guys are all like my age, right?
Yeah,
so
they're
cool.
Over 50.
But did you see Padraig Harrington and old
Roger
Maltby get into it, JC?
Yeah, he didn't like where Roger was standing to do his reporting from the fairway there. I mean, I guess these old guys.
I mean, here's it's very simple.
Yeah.
If Roger was standing in his line of sight or wherever it bothers certain players, all Padre had to do was back off whatever shot it was, whether it's a putt or whatever, and just say, Roger, do you mind moving over here?
That's all.
That's all he had to do.
That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. And Roger was a golfer as well. I think Roger knows what he's doing out there.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does. QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief, no surgery, drugs, or downtime. Schedule a free consultation at QC Kinetics. All right, JC, we got a text. This is a good one here on the Titan Lamar text line. Gary says, Shane, I know you always talk about college traditions. What are some of your favorites? Well, I can go through about every SEC school and name what I love about their traditions.
Kentucky.
We can skip them. They don't have any. At least that I'm not aware of. Let's start with Tennessee.
Okay.
I think their pregame renditions of where the band opens up and they run through the big T.
Oh, so cool.
I think Rocky Top is a cool song when the whole stadium sings it. I think the checkerboards are awesome. You go to Auburn. I think they have one of the best fight songs in all of the land. I think the eagle flying, I think they still do that.
That is
awesome.
Yeah.
I think, LSU to me is my favorite, especially when they had Mike the Tiger there.
Oh my God.
Their band, when they salute all 4 corners of the stadium, I get chills.
Imagine what would happen if they were actually any good.
Yeah. Alabama, Dixieland Delight.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ole Miss. I don't know what Ole Miss does now. When I grew up, when they played Dixie, which I think is a tremendous song.
Yeah.
Wish I wasn't Dixie. I'm trying to think of
what else. Well, how about calling the pigs in Arkansas? The whole stadium does this thing. You've got the cowbells at Starkville. Now they have reined in the cowbells during when the offensive line gets to the line of scrimmage and the play and the quarterback's doing his thing up there, they have to shut the cowbells down, but they do. And then as soon as the ball snaps, so and that's kind of, I mean, that's
and then
kind
of course, and Andy says, of course, don't forget Texas A&M, the great traditions that JC loves.
And then they're all waving back and forth, arm in arm, hand in hand. They have their midnight yell or whatever the hell it's called on Friday night with a bonfire that's 60 feet high. And the cult, it's a cult. The fan base is a cult. They've got all these weird movements and sayings, and the call guys doing, their thing, and gig 'em, this, that, this, and, whatever that is. That was somewhat of a derogatory thing in the past, but now it's a Texas A&M cheer thing, whatever. And I love the horns, the Texas Longhorns.
Well, they got Bevo.
They got Bevo. You've got the covered wagon rolling out there on the field in Norman, Oklahoma. What's better than that? You got, these horses galloping like that they're running from Indians or something with the covered wagon, and it's just tremendous stuff. It's tremendous stuff. I'm not
basically, we just went through pretty much the whole conference. You're right. Kentucky has nothing.
No, and then Vanderbilt, I'm not sure exactly what they are.
Vanderbilt doesn't have anything either.
And then South Carolina's got the 2001,
And they play Sandstorm or whatever it's called.
That's that rock and roll group.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're showing our age here. Metallica.
No. You're thinking that's Virginia Tech, JC. That's Virginia Tech.
It's Virginia Tech. God. Okay. Well.
So anyway, thanks for the text, Gary.
Let me ask you this: what is the biggest Florida Gator tradition since we don't do Gator bait anymore? What's one of those?
That's a great question.
I mean, don't tell me the Tom Petty
song.
It's not the Tom Petty song. That's been going on for how many years? About 6, 7, 8,
maybe 10? A bit longer than that.
Okay, maybe. But I mean, traditions start from
all right.
Old time.
I guess our tradition
orange and blue,
the sheet that says "Work 'em silly."
I like that, but I also like when the cheerleader gets out on midfield and goes, "Give me the orange, 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 orange. Give me the blue." And of course, the alumni side is always the blue because it's easier to go blue, 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 and then orange, blue. So that's good. And then you got Mr. Two Bits running around with the yellow shirt and the tie. He's no longer with us, but there's always somebody, a former player or coach, that comes out and stirs them up. I'm not sure if you've done that yet. I think it's.
I was asked, and I said no, thank you.
Well, I think you need to. No, come on, QB. Don't be so shy. You're such a shy guy from Mississippi, QB. Get out there and rally the fans with the 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits. I mean, show some of that glory, that magnetic personality of yours, and get out there and let's get the crowd fired up. They would love to see number 9 show up out there and do the 2 bits, 4 bits. They would love it.
They have
driving crazy. Oh God, I'll work. Hey, Gator Nation, I will work on them for you. I'm very convincing. It's going to happen before he retires. I'll do that. Before he retires from the broadcast booth. Okay, he's already retired from the whatever other thing he did, but the broadcast booth.
Philip on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, says Shane loves soccer. I don't know where that came from.
Ooh. I do watch this show on FX called Welcome to Wrexham, and I think it's fabulous. And
welcome to what?
Wrexham. It's a town in Wales, and 2 prominent movie stars in America, Rob McElhenney and some other guy that pretends he's a superhero or whatever. And then some guy that was in the show, It Never Rains in Philadelphia or whatever. Anyhow, very wealthy guys bought this team in Wales, have created a team that's been promoted because that's how they do their thing in England. For soccer, you get relegated down or promoted up to better leagues and get better players, you get more money and so forth. And they took this dumpy little stadium in this dumpy little town that's got a history of mining, and they turned it into a way of life now, and they've really revitalized the area. It's a great show. It's called Welcome to Wrexham, WREXHAM, and it's more than just soccer. It's a lot of human interest involved, and it's basically the resuscitation of a town by 2 American movie stars, Rob McElhenney and Ryan. What the hell's his name? Anyway, he's the Deadpool guy, the superhero. I don't watch these shows, but anyway, these guys, this is impressive stuff, and it's about a town that's rallied around a soccer team, and it's grown, and it's just a really good show to watch on FX. There's 4 seasons. I'm in the 4th season, and it's very good. I highly recommend it. It doesn't cost you anything. Just pull it up off FX, and off you go.
Chris says on Facebook, YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Our intro of "Only the Gators Get Out Alive" is still one of the best.
Yeah, but that I don't like that at all either, because that's clearly not been the case in the last 10 years.
Right. So. But here's an interesting fact for you, because I do like it. I think they've changed it over the years. I can't even see it from our box.
Yeah.
I can't. We can't see the big screens from where the radio booth is.
That's a malfunction there. But there is something about the alligator in the swamp and the music. And then, he comes out of the swamp and just slams his jaw shut, and the team comes running out. But it doesn't work for me when Texas A&M's running the score up on you, or Miami. You
don't win every game, JC.
I know, I get it, but it's been a little slim pickings here. Hopefully that turns around and we get.
All right. So, JC, I have a little just off Twitter over the weekend.
Okay.
This is the combined wins between football, men's basketball, and baseball, the 3 major sports.
Yes.
Of all colleges in America. Who do you think has the most combined wins? What school?
Oh, and baseball?
Okay.
Well, I'm going
to repeat the question one more time.
Okay.
Combined wins means we're talking multiple sports here. Football, basketball, and baseball. Add up all the wins from those 3 major sports. Who has the most in America?
Well, I'm definitely going to say that Florida and Tennessee are close.
Well, the Tennessee Vols are number 1.
Oh, I got that. Okay.
The Mighty Gators are 3rd. So Tennessee has 86 wins. Florida has 83. Who do you think is the 2nd team? You'll never get it.
Good there, JC. I'll throw out I'll just go with somebody like the Oregon Ducks or something.
The Duke Blue Devils.
The Dukers, yeah.
Right, because of basketball, I guess. Okay, so here are the most combined wins. So let's see, it's 3, 6. This is the top 10 in America.
I got the top 2 of the
Tennessee has 86. Duke has 85. The Mighty Gators 83. I guess baseball kind of screwed us there. Clemson at 82. Oregon at 80.
Okay, Oregon's 5.
Arkansas 79.
Wow.
Alabama 78.
Ooh.
Auburn 78. Louisville 78. And Ole Miss at 77.
Look at all those SEC schools. How about that, huh? And we're not even talking about Texas or Oklahoma, folks.
No.
How about that? That's why everybody hates our league. Everybody. They hate it because they want to be it. And I get it. That's fine. Be a hater. Call yourself a football fan and live in Minnesota. Go ahead. Call yourself a basketball fan and live in California. Go ahead. It just doesn't exist. Yeah, it does mean more down here in this part of the country, whether people outside of this part of the country like it or not. It's the truth. Just look at the results. If you don't care about the truth, then be a Democrat. Should I have said that? But yeah, I don't care saying it. It's a free country. But
Clint says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, golf question of the day: hitting the earth before the ball and it doesn't go far at all. What do I need to fix?
Oh,
we don't give golf lessons.
Wait a minute. He's hitting it fat. Is that it?
You're hitting it fat. Move the ball back in your stance.
Just back it up a little bit. That just back it up in your stance. It's gonna feel awkward. Move it to your right foot just a little bit. See if that works for you. Maybe choke down on the club a little bit. Just choke down an inch. Move the ball back in your stance. Let us know on Wednesday how it goes. If you can get out here, because it rains like Vietnam around here at this time of year. So move it back about an inch or two. Choke down about an inch or two, see how that goes. But you're right. We're not really good golf advisors, if you will. We just go out there and play. I've never had a golf lesson in my life. Never.
Me neither. I think I might get one.
You got the shanks, QB?
No. I have no problems. I just, I've lost a little distance now that I'm older.
You're older.
But still, it doesn't, I don't buy that.
So you think Vijay Singh hits it just as far today as he used to?
Probably.
No. What about Tiger Woods? Does he hit it as far today as he used to? No.
I bet he does.
No way. With that back of his? No.
Well, there's plenty of 50 plus guys that are hitting it farther. Adam
You think Couples is? You think Fred Couples is hitting as far as he used to?
Well, Fred Couples is in his 60s, JC. I'm not 60.
Okay, well, you're getting there.
Adam, what's his name? The Australian, Adam Scott is hitting it farther now at age 40 something than he did 5 or 6 years ago.
Well, that might be.
Yeah,
But
it's possible.
oh,
I mean,
no,
I haven't lost
get it.
much, but I've never had a lesson, and I'm going to get with Dudley and see if Dudley can tweak a few things.
Now that would be helpful whether you need it or not, just because he's Dudley Hart and he knows what he's doing. So I think, yeah, that would be a good call to make. You're lucky that you get access to him that way.
Well, I mean, JC, all you got to do is join Gator Golf Boosters, and you may get some access. Speaking of Gator Golf Boosters, we're having the president on here tomorrow.
I'm going to call Pee Wee. I'm going to call Pee Wee and ask him about the ACE membership. I'm close to getting an ACE. So,
well, why don't you just click on it? It tells you everything.
I want to talk to Pee Wee. I know what it does. I know what it says, but I need to talk to Pee Wee about one thing that I didn't read on the website. So we'll see how that works.
If you want a write-off, you get a write-off. If that's what
I'm not worried about. Well, no, I know that. I'll do it anyway, whether I get it or not. I'll just tell the accountant off. But
so Mike on YouTube wants to know, brought to you by Quad Plum, have I ever played golf with the HBC? Yes. Used to play with him a lot, probably 10, 12 years ago, but he can only play about 9 holes and doesn't hit it around. I mean, he's 80 years old. Although I got an 83-year-old guy that plays in my golf group that golfs his ball like it's nuts.
He's the eighth wonder of the world.
He really is.
But one of the things I remember about playing golf with Coach is how he tried to subtly get under your skin a little bit to try to get an advantage on you, but it never worked on me. One time he made fun of how much money I made at TV20 in my last year when I worked there at the TV station. And it did work. I duck hooked the ball left because I felt so mad about the fact that I spent 8 years of my life at that TV station and got paid less than the weatherman. And I never will get over that. It will never make me feel good because I did so much more than the damn weatherman. But that's how they paid you. And then, of course, they had these ridiculous contracts that wouldn't let me go to another station because of what they call a non-compete. Well, there is no compete here. There's no competition in Gainesville, North Central Florida for television, local news. So it wasn't. And when I was there anyway, there may be now, but I wouldn't know because I don't watch. But I will tell you that he was that way, but it never really worked except that one time. And it worked. He said, yeah, I won't go.
We'll get you out of here, JC. We got a text for you here on the Titan and Mark text line from Jim. He wants to know, JC, who do you think wins the World Series?
Well, I'm into the baseball right now. It's going to be hard to go against teams like the Dodgers. But I don't want to just throw the Dodgers out there or the Phillies or the Yankees, even though they could win. I'd like to go with the team that's got some higher odds to win the World Series. Right now, I think the team that scares me the most are these guys right here because they've been there before. They've got the pitching, and Jose Altuve is one of the greatest infielders to have ever played. He's a certain first ballot Hall of Famer. But I was really thrilled to see the Pirates sweep the Mets over the weekend. I love the way the Cardinals are playing. I think the Braves are pretenders. And, in the American League, it's anybody's race because there's not really any great team in the American League. I think in the National League, you have a few better teams playing. And I think it's going to be really hard to beat the Dodgers 4 out of 7 times. So as much as I hate saying that, maybe the Dodgers, but I think the Houston Astros right now in the American League are your favorite. And if they get to the World Series in a short series, those pitchers are going to be hard to deal with. Hunter Brown is unbelievable. He strikes out 9 people every time he pitches. So take his over, strike
Where's
out
he from?
And you'll be very happy. I don't know. I just know who he is. I've been watching him, winning money off him on his strikeout total because it always seems to be around 6.5 or 7. Just bet it. He's getting you 9 or 10. He throws at 101 miles an hour. He's incredible. I like the Astros. So I'll go with the Houston Astros in the American League and the National League. It's between, in my opinion, it's between the Phillies and the Dodgers. I don't think the Cubs have enough to last this long into the second half of the season. We haven't even got to the All-Star break yet, but I want the Yankees to win, but they ain't beating the Astros. They'll never beat the Astros.
All right. I want you to hear this. Stay in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life. Campus USA Credit Union, where a proud member, Stephen Orr Spurrier Banks. 1934, JC.
Okay.
The Detroit radio executive George Richards pays $7,952 to buy the NFL's Portsmouth Spartans.
Oh.
He moves the team to Detroit and rebrands it the Lions.
Awesome.
$7,000 he paid, about $8,000.
And what was his name?
George Richards.
I thought Ford on the or
George,
yeah.
this is in 1934.
Yeah, well, Henry
He bought
Ford was
him.
alive.
Took them to Detroit. Maybe he sold them to
Henry Ford
I don't know.
or whoever Ford family bought
This
it.
made me think of a story here. I don't know if I pronounce it. Is it Portsmouth? Is that
Portsmouth?
okay? I'm gonna tell a quick story. So
Portsmouth.
when I was help coach high school ball, there was a obviously the head football coach at Dartmouth is Sam McCorkle, former Gator. So he was down here in the Gainesville area. I forgot which high school I was at that time helping. But we're sitting in the coaches meeting. It's the head coach, me, the athlete, and Sam. And this kid, pretty good player, pretty good grades. McCorkle's giving the whole Dartmouth spiel, right? And once he's done, he asked the kid, he's like, "You got any questions?" He goes, "Hey, coach, where's Dartmouth?"
Why does that make me laugh? Because it does.
It was great. I about died in the meeting.
Well, tell me where Dartmouth is, QB.
Dartmouth is in, I don't even know. I know it's not, it's somewhere in New York, I believe.
No, it's in
Somewhere up there.
Hanover. It's in either Hanover or Amherst, New Hampshire. It's in New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire.
It's in
Okay.
New Hampshire. I want to say
Yale,
they're all spread
Anyway,
out in the Northeast.
I thought it was funny as hell when he called it Dartmouth.
Dartmouth, yeah, babe. Yeah, well, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, it's stuck in New Hampshire, very cold area, very cold.
All right, JC, go work out.
By the way, where's Cornell?
It's somewhere up in New York too. All over in New York.
It's in New Ithaca, New York. West.
Yeah, they're all screwed.
They are. It's cold. All
They
right,
need to move that school.
we'll see you Wednesday.
All right, that's JC. Join us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tent. Take a quick time out, come back and get to more of these texts. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Naysayers, setbacks, injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mike Pouncey, and this is my twin brother Marquise Pouncey, and this is Life After Football. Let's go. We are the owners of Tropical Distillery, and JF Hayden's is our liqueur brand. We have 5 different flavors: a mango, a lychee, an espresso, citrus, and key lime pie. We pride ourselves on not only being a Florida-made brand, but also a cocktail solution. With that being said, cheers and go Gators.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
Coach, you know what always impressed me? How you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean head beer coach, 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope, Los Landeros Tequila, smooth enough to drink neat and bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros Tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union,
International Diamond Center,
Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Landeros Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Cogent Bank, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Sign, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Gallo Car Wash is locally owned by UF alum and the only car wash that provides NIL opportunities to Gator athletes. Join our membership and see why Gators hate love bugs. I want to thank JC for joining us. Greg says here, I need to hit the gym finally in my life. I am actually stronger and about 25 pounds heavier than when I played pro ball and college ball right now. I wish I was this size when I played. Greg also says, of course, there are protesters at Alligator Alcatraz. They ain't in the road, I can promise you that. They are standing on the side of the road. So anyway. Clint wants to know on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Shane, who's right, Spurrier or Urban, or whose beverage is better? I've had both. I mean, it depends on if you want beer or liquor, or tequila, I should say. Both are very, very good. Andy asked here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon, do you think the HBC could promote changes to the Ring of Honor criteria? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if Coach cares. But I'm not sure about that. This text on the Titan Mar text line from Robert. He says, Shane, did you happen to see the new Raising Cane's commercial with Arch Manning? I did. I saw it on Twitter. It has Garrett Nussmeier, Arch Manning, Archie Manning, and then they go through the drive-through at Raising Cane's, and then Cooper Manning, who's Arch's dad, who's hilarious. It's you need to Google it. It's pretty damn good. It's a funny commercial, and I thought it was great. That was great. Tommy says protester speed bumps stay out of the streets in Florida. Yeah. And then another text on the Titan Mar text line from William says, Shane, what was the difference the way Spurrier taught quarterbacks than how they are taught today? That's a great question. I would say he was such a good teacher of the quarterback position because he actually played the position and knew, you know, sometimes you can't see in the pocket when 300-pounders are coming at you. Your windows are cloudy. And if you just couldn't see something, you just say it. And he's like, okay, I understand. But he gave the quarterback a lot of freedom. It was he called a play. It was your job to get us in the right play. You don't see that in today's world. You don't see a lot of audibling at all, quite honestly. Everything was on time. It was take your steps and let it go. If it's not open, check it down. And he's the best I've ever been at it. Like I said, I did not learn probably anything about the passing game when I went to the National Football League. I felt like I was very advanced in that area compared to a lot of guys. I'll never forget my rookie year sitting in a meeting when Jim Harbaugh's that started with the Bears. He couldn't answer any of the questions watching tape. I'm like, what is going on here? So I think he's the best there was ever was out there, and the way he did it was like no other. And I was very fortunate to be able to play for him and learn from him. Tomorrow's program, we have Buddy Martin. We're also going to have Greg Williams, who's the president of Gator Golf Boosters, talk about what the booster program's trying to do for the golf team. And he was also a manager for Coach Spurrier at the University of Florida, quarterback manager. So he's got some great stories that he will tell as well. But not a whole lot going on in the world of sports. We were supposed to have a former player on today, but last minute, got it last night, had to cancel. I'm telling these damn athletes, they love to cancel on things. That's why I don't try to book them very often, but it happens. Stuff comes up, especially in the summertime. Kids got stuff going on or what have you. But we appreciate everybody chiming in, texting us, giving us Facebook and YouTube questions. Yeah, that's about it. So not a lot going on. And hang on, let's see what Alan says right here. Alan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, Shane, it was time passing. You threw the ball to a spot. It seems every team has gotten away. Well, yes and no. Yeah, I mean, pretty much we knew where to go with the football. There's a weakness to every defense, and it was our job to get to that area, or the receivers to get to that area, and then for the quarterback to know where to throw it. I was talking to someone the other day that I saw at Publix, and they stopped me, and they go back and watch old games, I guess on YouTube or what have you. And we were talking about the passing game. It's just not the same anymore. Like I said, the closest team that runs anything to like what we did is Texas under Sarkisian. Great route combinations. So anyway, that's going to do it for today's program. Again, appreciate everybody chiming in, and have a great day. It's your last day of June. Tomorrow is July the 1st, and it's getting closer and closer to kickoff. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.